This is Texas Stadium, the new home of the Dallas Cowboys, where on a sunny second day of 1972, the Cowboys were to defend their NFC title against the same team they had defeated in the previous NFC championship, the San Francisco 49ers. Once again, it was up to quarterback John Brodie to crack the tough Dallas defense. And while Brodie had not had a super season, the 49ers considered themselves a better overall team than ever before. But Tom Landry, the only head coach in the 12-year history of the Dallas Cowboys, also had a better overall team than ever before. And as always, the constant factor in the Cowboys' success was defense. All-everything tackle Bob Lilly and the Doomsday defense were in the playoffs for the 6th consecutive year, a record unmatched in NFL history. They had won a club record 8 straight games and were undefeated ever since midseason, when Roger Staubach took over at quarterback. The Cowboys were ready to win their 9th straight, the next to last step on the way to their first world championship. I'm Andy Musser, and this is the NFL Game of the Week. On the game's first offensive series, Roger Staubach, Duane Thomas and company had their problems getting untracked against the tough 49er defense. Staubach did manage 2 first downs for the Cowboys, both on passes. One a fake right screen pass left to running back Duane Thomas. Staubach got the other first down with a 3rd and long conventional drop back and throw to wide receiver Lance Allworth. The good catch by Allworth was to be his only catch of the day. When Staubach again looked for Allworth on 3rd down, the 49ers had him blanketed, and the Cowboys were forced to try a 48-yard field goal, which fell short. On San Francisco's first offensive series, John Brodie immediately opened up the running game with number 22, Vic Washington, the flashy rookie, who during the season had accounted for almost 2,000 yards in total offense. Washington's early 12-yard gain was to be the 49ers' longest play of the first half, and their only first down. When Brodie went to the air, he got nowhere. Forced to punt, Coach Dick Nolan called upon Steve Spurrier, the former Heisman-winning quarterback from Florida. Spurrier was called upon to punt 6 times and could manage only a 38-yard average. As a result, the 49ers were rarely able to put Dallas deep in the hole. But rarely was Dallas able to take advantage, as Staubach's drop-back passing was less than awesome in the early going. Like the 49ers, the Cowboys were forced to punt 6 times. But all-NFC punter Ron Whidbey averaged 45 yards a punt, 7 yards better than Spurrier. And this helped the Cowboys keep the 49ers away from their goal. The rest of the first quarter, Brodie fell into a predictable pattern. On first down, Vic Washington was sent out to get a few grudging yards. Dallas would allow no more than that. In the middle of the Dallas line, playing his usual role as kingpin of the NFC's best rushing defense, was all-pro tackle Bob Lilly, number 74. Lilly has played in 154 consecutive games since joining the Cowboys in 1961, and he seems to get better every year, if that's possible. On 3rd down, it was Brodie's pattern to pass, naturally, but he was far off target most of the time. Brodie's play-action fakes didn't seem to help, and the ball continued to bounce harmlessly on the synthetic surface. With 1 minute to go in the first quarter, Brodie completed his first pass, his only completion of the half, to a wide receiver. But it was good for only 6 yards, still short of a first down. Roger Staubach wasn't doing much better, as the 49er defense seemed to have things well under control. Staubach's drop-back passing had been stopped, and neither Duane Thomas nor number 35, Calvin Hill, was able to gain more than a very rough 3 yards or so at a crack. The Cowboy offense had been entirely shut down. But then on the last play of the first quarter, again faced with 3rd and long, Roger Staubach stepped up and got a first down his own way. After speaking with Coach Landry between periods, on the first play of the second quarter, Staubach returned to the Cowboys' customary attack, again unsuccessfully. On the next play, Staubach sent the entire offensive flow to his left, then started to run to his right, looking for a receiver. What followed was certainly not in the Dallas playbook. Some think perhaps it should be. On third down, when Staubach again resumed the normal Dallas game plan, again they were forced to punt. Then John Brodie made his most costly mistake of the year. In a super slow motion replay from behind the end zone, we can see that Brodie first faked a handoff to fullback Ken Willard, then retreated and threw a screen pass in Willard's direction. But 6'6" defensive end George Andre was in perfect position to intercept. There are many better-known members of the Doomsday defense, but George Andre, the 10-year veteran from Marquette, had made the game's biggest play and perhaps the biggest play of the season for the Cowboys. Some say that George Andre is too old, too slow, that he should be replaced by Pat Toomey or Tody Smith. But George Andre is the smart old pro who beat another smart old pro in the NFC title game. And John Brodie will never forget George Andre. Hill vaulted in for the touchdown and the 6 points that turned out to be more than enough to win the NFC title for Dallas. For the rest of the first half, Brodie was completely throttled by Bob Lilly and friends. For the half, the 49ers had a total of 1 first down. Brodie's passing statistics for the half were equally embarrassing. In 9 attempts, just 2 completions for a grand total of 4 yards. The Dallas offense, on the other hand, began to show small signs of life. Duane Thomas carried twice for his only 2 good games of the half, 8 yards up the middle, and then 10 yards around left end behind all-conference guard John Nyland, number 76. The other Cowboy running backs could accomplish nothing, even on the usually reliable reverse screen pass to Walt Garrison, number 32. In the late stages of the first half, Roger Staubach took over the game. He rifled one for a first down to Bob Hayes, and on a 3rd and 19 play, he again stayed in the pocket and found his secondary receiver, tight end Billy Truax, for 21 yards, the longest play of the half. But it was as a runner that Staubach hurt the 49ers the most, gaining consistently whenever he roamed out of the pocket. Although Staubach averaged over 8 yards per carry during the regular season, Coach Landry frowns upon such frivolous antics, and a good deal of this frowning results from the depressing thought that one day, the end of a stawback scramble may bring the end of a scrambling stawback. From Staubach's point of view, perhaps scrambling is safer than waiting to be thumped by the likes of number 86, Cedric Hardman, also known as Nasty. Hardman is a second-year defensive end, already all-conference, and Hardman is a hard man to handle, as a top camera rerun aptly illustrates. On a different play, watch Hardman give number 64, Tony Liscio, the revolving door treatment on his way into Staubach. On the last play of the half, Hardman ran over Liscio, chased Staubach out of the pocket, then caused him to fumble. The 49ers recovered the loose ball, the only such recovery by either team in the game. But by then, the clock had run out, and so had the 49ers' fortunes for the first half.
The trouble with money is that there are so many ways to spend it, especially when you're trying to save. It's your future, protected by saving at an American Express.
Defense had dominated the action in the first half, and in the final two quarters, the trend would continue. It had been the ability of Dallas' doomsday defense to contain San Francisco that had made the big difference in the game. In the first half, San Francisco had managed only 42 yards in total offense. And at the beginning of the second half, it was clear that John Brodie's passing would be the key to any 49er victory hopes. After Vic Washington returned the second half kickoff only 13 yards, Brodie immediately began to put his plan into effect. Number 18, Gene Washington, and number 82, Ted Qualick, were Brodie's main targets in the second half, as the 49er offense finally showed signs of life. The 49ers were able to move with short passes over the middle and swing passes to running backs coming out of the backfield, but the stingy Cowboys secondary refused to give up a long bomb. On second down, Brodie again connected with sure-fingered Ted Qualick, the NFC's second leading receiver, and Qualick took the ball to the Dallas 21. But there, another 49er effort was halted, and Bruce Gossett, number 30, was called on to provide the only points San Francisco would manage all afternoon. The Dallas defense was so tough that the 49ers got inside the Cowboy 40 only twice all day, and Gossett's 28-yard field goal was the only outburst from a team that had averaged 3 touchdowns per game this year. Now it was again Staubach's turn, but he too was facing one of the NFL's toughest defenses. The 49ers gave up the short sideline passes, but did an excellent job of protecting against the Cowboy trademark, the long bomb. Cowboy wide receivers Bob Hayes and Lance Allworth had trouble getting open against the glove-tight coverage of the 49ers secondary. But the Dallas arsenal is so awesome that it can burst a game open at any time. This year, the Dallas running game has been paced by temperamental Duane Thomas, number 33. But in this game, he picked up only 44 yards. Cat-quick defensive linemen like number 70, Charlie Kruger, did a good job of rushing Staubach. But there is one Dallas weapon that no defense has been able to stop consistently, and that is Staubach scrambling. Although the Dallas drive stalled this time, Roger the Dodger would be back for more. In the third quarter, the 49er running game finally got on track for a brief moment as number 22, Vic Washington, scooted up the middle for 15 yards. Then on third down, Brodie connected with number 18, Gene Washington, for 22 big yards. In super slow motion, we can see that Brodie's pass was thrown low, and Washington's acrobatics were responsible for the completion. Brodie had seemingly found a way to dent the Dallas defense as he combined with Washington and Ted Qualick on the 49ers' most consistent drive of the day. But on third down, the threat came to an end. Trying to throw on the run, Brodie was unable to find number 22, Vic Washington. We can see that the Cowboys' number 52, Dave Edwards, was almost guilty of pass interference as he clubbed Washington just before the ball was released. Another San Francisco drive sputtered and died as Bruce Gossett misfired from the 47-yard line. With time running out in the third quarter, Roger Staubach was determined to go back to the air. Although Lance Allworth was ruled out of bounds on this reception, Staubach's ad-lib antics resulted in a 17-yard completion to player coach Dan Reeves, number 30. On a repeat in super slow motion, let's take an isolated look at Staubach as Roger the Dodger does his thing. Dallas coach Tom Landry would like to see Staubach remain in the pocket rather than risk injury on his daring jaunts, but it was Staubach's scrambling that was instrumental in confusing the San Francisco defense. At the beginning of the fourth quarter, Staubach continued to move the Cowboys as he found number 87, tight end Billy Truax, open for 22 yards and a first down. Staubach was intercepted only 4 times this year, and his scrambling ability had a lot to do with this statistic. When he can't locate an open receiver, Staubach simply tucks the ball under his arm and takes off. In the second half, number 32, Walt Garrison, replaced the injured Calvin Hill at fullback, and Garrison's second effort blasts accounted for 52 yards. Having established a ground game, Staubach on 3rd and 2 crossed up the 49ers with a bullet to number 89, Mike Ditka. Then from the 2-yard line, Staubach noticed a weakness in the 49ers defense and moved number 33, Duane Thomas, from the right side to a slot left. Apparently, Staubach's adjustment was correct, as Thomas danced untouched into the end zone to give Dallas a 14-3 lead.
Some credit cards can buy you golf balls. Some cards can buy you ski boots. The American Express money card can buy you Aspen, from airline tickets to lift tickets.
Trailing by 11 points, John Brodie knew that passing was his only hope. In slow motion, we can truly appreciate the great hands and leaping ability of the 49ers' Gene Washington, number 18, as he outleaps two defenders for a reception. But San Francisco was unable to complement Brodie's passing with an effective running game, as the Dallas defense, anchored by number 74, Bob Lilly, held the 49ers' Ken Willard to only 3 yards rushing all day. When San Francisco failed to move, Roger Staubach again went back to his most effective strategy. But the Big Red defense put the squeeze on Staubach's freewheeling trips as they desperately tried to get the ball back. With 2.5 minutes remaining in the game, Brodie regained the ball, but it took only one play for him to lose it again. Brodie's second interception came at the hands of Wiley Leroy Jordan, number 55, who returned to the San Francisco 23. Although Brodie's passing had improved in the second half, interceptions ruined key 49er drives. The Dallas theft set up a field goal attempt from the 24-yard line, but Mike Clark's kick was blocked by Frank Nunley, and with only a minute and a half remaining, the 49ers retained only a shred of hope. In the final moments of play, John Brodie staged a frenzied passing display as he frantically tried to snatch victory away. Brodie is a hard-bitten leader who refuses to give up until the final gun sounds. But on this day, he was unable to score against the skill and experience of the Dallas defense. With 19 seconds remaining in the game, Brodie was chased out of the pocket and served up his third interception of the day. The theft by Cliff Harris squeezed the last breath out of the 49ers as the Cowboys delighted their fans with a 14-3 victory over San Francisco. In a game that must have put the scoreboard operator to sleep, Tom Landry's doomsday defense held Dick Nolan's 49ers to their lowest point total in 5 years. For the Cowboys, it was their 6th trip to the playoffs, and they were again rewarded with a trip to the Super Bowl. But the victory brings the big one, the game Dallas supposedly can't win. But this year, it appears the Cowboys just have too much talent to lose again.